Hi guys, welcome back to yet another session. This session நம்ம பார்க்க போற டாபிக் என்ன அப்படின்னா power MOSFET. Before getting the details of power MOSFET and its types, we will look into the agenda of this session. We will start off with power transistor, get the features of power transistors, then we will get into power MOSFET, find out the similarities and differences with power BJT. Power MOSFETs have different types. We will take one type and find out how it is constructed, how it is operated, and list the applications of this type. And we will try to know what it is when we just get into the session. Power MOSFET is a voltage controlled device. It has high input impedance and it has the capability to handle drain current in amperes range and breakdown voltage in hundreds of kilovolts. As that of your power BJT, power MOSFET has also to be operated under safe region. We designated a region called a safe operating region in power BJT. Similarly, your power MOSFET should also be operated under safe region. It has faster switching time. It has no second breakdown and it has stable gain and response time over a wide temperature range. Over a wide temperature, you have a stability in gain and response time. This shows that your power MOSFET is immune to thermal runaway. The reason being, as temperature increases, it affects the mobility of charge carriers and so the resistance increases and as a result your current decreases, which will result in no thermal runaway. So this are the features of power MOSFET, and you could notice that this is a similarity to that of your power BJT. Similar to your power BJT, your power MOSFET is also able to handle currents, a higher values of currents and breakdown voltages of hundreds of volts. And these are the differences when you compare it with power BJT. Your power MOSFET has faster switching time, whereas your power BJT does not have. You have a concept called a second breakdown in power BJT, whereas you don't have the second breakdown in power MOSFET. You have localized thermal runaway in power BJT, whereas you do not have thermal runaway in power MOSFET. Whereas a power BJT is a current control device, whereas power MOSFET is a voltage control device. So these are certain similarities and differences between a power MOSFET and a power BJT. There is a disadvantage in power MOSFET. The power handling level of a power MOSFET is very less when compared to the other power transistors. So this could be compensated by changing the construction mode construction mode from planar structure to vertical structure, and this paves way for different types of power MOSFETs. To name a few: DMOS, VMOS and UMOS. So these are the different types of power MOSFETs that are available, and in this session what we are going to do is we are going to take DMOS as our structure, find out how is it constructed, how is it operated, and we will list few applications of DMOS. We will try to understand what DMOS is all about. DMOS stands for double diffused metal oxide semiconductor. You arrive at this name by the manner of sequence in which the p doped substrate and the n doped substrate are diffused. You diffuse your p-type substrate first, followed by the diffusion of a highly doped n plus source, and that is why this is called as double diffused metal oxide semiconductor. We'll straight away move on to the construction of DMOS. As said earlier, we are trying to move from a planar structure into a vertical structure. So this is the construction of DMOS. You do have a highly doped N substrate on which the N drift region is grown. We have already known about the reason for introducing this drift region in our previous lecture on power BJT. To just give you a hint, the blocking voltage is determined by the thickness and doping concentration of this drift region, and that is why there is an insertion of this layer in power transistors. You do have a heavily doped N plus layer which is called as the source, and a moderately doped p-type region. So in DMOS you do have three terminals: the source, gate and drain. You do have a silicon dioxide layer above which you do have the gate electrode. The lateral extension between the N plus source and the p-type substrate forms the channel. So this is about the construction of DMOS. Now it is time to understand the operation of DMOS. We have known the construction of it. So DMOS is operated, or rather we will try to understand the operation of DMOS under two different cases. When the gate source voltage is kept positive, what really happens, and when drain to source voltage is made positive. So we will try to take the diagram here with all biasing arrangement. As said earlier, so this is going to be the channel, this being your drain, and these two source terminals are electrically connected, and you are going to apply or rather give gate source voltage here, which is going to be positive always. And there are two junctions that are going to be formed. Junction 1 between the p-type substrate here or p-type region and the n drift region, and there is another junction formed between this n plus source and the p region over here. First case, what we will try to do is we will try to take VGS to be positive. When VGS is kept positive, இப்போ இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு அரேஞ்ச்மெண்ட் வச்சிருக்கோம். இப்போ பாசிட்டிவ் VGS கொடுக்குறோம். ஆல்ரெடி நம்ம இந்த ஒரு கான்செப்ட் நம்ம படிச்சிருப்போம். இங்க வந்து சிலிக்கான் டை ஆக்சைடு லேயர் இருக்கிறதுனால ஒரு கெபாசிட்டரோட கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா, ரெண்டு parallel plate, inside there is going to be a dielectric medium, right? This silicon dioxide layer also acts like a dielectric medium. So whenever இங்க positive charges one side of the plate வந்து deposit ஆச்சு அப்படின்னா equal and opposite charges will be deposited on the other side of the plate. இது நம்ம முன்னாடியே படிச்ச கான்செப்ட். அதே கான்செப்ட் தான் இங்க நம்ம எடுத்துக்கிறோம். இங்க பாசிட்டிவ் VGS கொடுக்கும்போது இங்க பாசிட்டிவ் சார்ஜஸ் டெபாசிட் ஆகும்போது ரைட் equal and opposite charges will be deposited on the other side, right? Which means that நம்ம வந்து என்ன சொல்லிருக்கோம் அப்படினா lateral extension சொல்லிருக்கோம் பாத்தீங்களா, between the N and the P forms the base. அப்ப என்ன ஆகும் அப்படினா இங்க positive charges கொடுக்கும்போது there will be equal and opposite charges that is going to be induced over here. So அப்ப இந்த inducement இங்க அதே மாதிரி இங்க நடக்க போகுது. இப்ப VGS பாசிட்டிவா இருக்கும்போது என்ன நடக்குது அப்படினா, so there is going to be an induced channel that is going to be created, right? So this is what we call it as the induced channel, right? Okay, இப்போ drain to source voltage நான் இப்போ பாசிட்டிவ் ஆக்குறேன். இப்போ இத பாசிட்டிவ் ஆக்கும்போது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, இந்த drain பாசிட்டிவா இருக்கிறதுனால இங்க இருக்கிற electrons இருக்கு பாத்தீங்களா, so the electrons that are going to be present over here will be attracted towards this drain. So as a result என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, so electron கொடுத்ததுனால an immobile ion is going to be created. So இப்படி இருக்கும். அப்ப which means that J1 becomes reverse biased. Okay, right? இப்போ VGS உம் VDS உம் ரெண்டும் இருக்குன்னு வெச்சுக்கோங்க. அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்? So there is going to be an electron that is going to be created over here, right? As well as there is going to be an electron supplied by this source. அப்ப என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, so there is going to be a layer that is going to be created, right? அப்ப இந்த electrons என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, இந்த positive இந்த electric fieldக்கு என்ன பண்ணும் அப்படின்னா, they get attracted towards this positive ions. இந்த ionsக்கு அது என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, it gets attracted, right? Once they get attracted, they fall into this N drift region, right? இந்த N drift region வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் என்ன ஆகுது, it finds that VDS is also made positive. அப்ப என்ன ஆகும், இந்த positive polarity will start attracting the electrons that had diffused from this P region to this N drift region. இங்க இருந்து இங்க வந்த electrons எல்லாத்தையும் என்ன பண்ண போகுது அப்படின்னா, இந்த drain வந்து attract பண்ணி உள்ள வாங்கி இழுத்துட்டு போக போகுது. And as a result there is going to be a flow of current. இந்த flow of current எங்க இருந்து வருது அப்படின்னா, இந்த ரீஜன்ல இருந்தும் வருது, இந்த ரீஜன்ல இருந்தும் வருது. அப்போ there is going to be a heavy current that is going to flow. இதத்தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம் அப்படின்னா, it is able to handle more current அப்படின்றத நம்ம சொல்றோம், right? So this is the operation of DMOS. அப்ப DMOS ஓட ஆபரேஷன் எப்படி பார்த்திருக்கோம் அப்படின்னா, VGS இருக்கும்போது என்ன நடந்துச்சு, ஒரு இன்டியூஸ்டு சேனல் கிரியேட் ஆச்சு, சரிங்களா? ரைட். VDS பாசிட்டிவா இருக்கும்போது என்ன ஆச்சு, ஜங்ஷன் J1 வந்து ரிவர்ஸ் பயாஸ் ஆச்சு. ரிவர்ஸ் பயாஸ் ஆனதுனால என்ன ஆகுது, எலக்ட்ரான்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் தி P ரீஜன், இந்த எலக்ட்ரான்ஸ் எப்படி இருந்து வந்துச்சு, இந்த எலக்ட்ரான்ஸ் வந்து they have been created because of the silicon dioxide layer, சரிங்களா? இதுக்கு கீழே நமக்கு வந்து எலக்ட்ரான்ஸ் வந்து உருவாயிருக்கு, right? Because of இது எதனால அப்படின்னா VGS னால. Okay, so இந்த electrons from P region get attracted by the electric field. அப்ப இந்த electric field னால என்ன ஆகுது, they diffuse into the N drift region. இங்க வருது. இங்க வந்த உடனே என்ன ஆகுது, VDS பாசிட்டிவ் இருக்கிறதுனால these electrons from the N drift region they get attracted, and as a result there is going to be a heavy flow of current. So this is going to be the working operation of DMOS. We will end the session by listing out the applications of DMOS. DMOS பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, it is used in switching applications with high voltage and high currency behavior. High frequency behavior. To name a few like that come under this category: inkjet printhead, and automobile control electronics. These are a few applications of DMOS. So to just give you a summary, so we have seen what a DMOS is, how is it constructed, its working operation under two different cases, and we have listed the applications of it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, share your valuable comments, and forget not to press the bell icon. Thank you for watching. Meet you soon.